Hello everyone and welcome to week 3 of online learning. I hope that you're all doing well. So, you know how the week's going to start. We always start with a little comic. Here we go. Here's one feeling. I'm going to try to be punny today. I really hope that I don't embarrass myself too much, but here we go anyways. So, online learning. I really hope that it's not too much to bear. Ha 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 ha. I know. Pretty painful. Alright, here we go. I hope that with the online learning, it's not too much to bear, and I hope that you're hanging in there like this cool koala guy. I know, that was pretty cringy, but I did it anyways. I hope it at least put a smile on your face. So, here we go. We are going to be looking at this week solving radical equations. Okay? So, at the end of the week, you're going to have a little quiz that assesses the rational exponents and the radical equations. This is everything we've done so far in online learning. So what this video is going to do, it's going to give you 3 examples that are all a little bit different, and then this week you're really just going to be practicing and reviewing to get ready for that quiz at the end of the week. So with that said, here we go. Let's dive right in. The first one we have, the square root of x minus 1 is equal to 5. So what we are doing here is we want to try and solve for x. So our first step is that we need to get rid of the square root, right? So we need to do the inverse of taking a square root. And the inverse of taking the square root would be squaring it. So what we're going to do is we're going to square both sides. And when we do that, our square root and our square will cancel, and we'll be left with x minus 1 is equal to 25. Okay? I got the 25 by squaring, oh, that's not my pointer, by squaring 5, okay? So we have x minus 1 equals 25, then now we're just going to do a little algebra, we're going to add 1 to both sides, and we're going to get x equals 26. Boom, got an answer. There's example 1. But guess what? You know what I'm about to make you do. I know. Take the deep breath, be like, come on, Mr. C. But yes, I'm going to make you do it anyways. You have to check your work, always. So, here we go. We're going to check our work. Over here, let's go over here. We had x equals 26, so we're going to plug in 26 for x. Let me grab a different color. And we got 26 square root 26 minus 1 is equal to 5. And we're going to get the square root of 25 is equal to 5, and we know the square root of 25 is 5. And 5 is equal to 5. Boom. We know we're right. Cool. So, that's example 1. Hope that it's feeling pretty straightforward and that it's making sense. If not, please check our schedule for the week so that you can drop into some office hours or send me an email and we can find a time to meet. Okay, so here's example 2. We have the square root of 2x minus 5 plus 4 is equal to x. Okay, so same objective here. We need to find x. However, what we have here is we have the square root sign. We know that somehow we're going to need to get rid of that. So we know we're going to need to do that, so we're going to need to square both sides. But wait, if we square both sides, what happens with this 4? So we don't really like that. So what we're going to do first is we're going to subtract 4 to both sides. It's going to make it a little simpler. Before we're going to do the inverse of a square root or a cube root or anything like that, we want to move everything else to the other side. So what we have is the square root of 2x minus 5 is equal to x minus 4. Now, we need to square both sides. And we're going to get 2x minus 5 is equal to x minus 4 squared. So, before we just jump and we just write x squared minus 4, we need to break this apart, right? I think this is going to look familiar. It better look familiar. This is what we did for a few months, right? So we need to break it up into x minus 4 and x minus 4, and then guess what we need to do with that? We need to FOIL that. And we are going to get 2x minus 5 is equal to x squared minus 4x minus 4x plus 16, or 2x minus 5 is equal to x squared minus 8x plus 16. Then we just need to move everything to one side so that we're going to get a quadratic is equal to 0. And then we're going to have a couple strategies as to how we're going to solve that. So I'm going to move it over here, but first we're going to subtract the 2x to both sides, and we're going to add the 5. And what we're now going to get as our new equation is x squared minus 10x. Just zoom out, get a little more space, plus 21 is equal to 0. Then, here, we're going to factor if we can, and we are going to be able to, and we are going to get x minus 7, x minus 3 is equal to 0, and we're going to get x equals 7, and x equals 3. And then our final thing that we need to do is we need to check our work. So, and we're going to plug in our values, and we're going to get 2 times 7 is 14. 14 minus 5 is 9, so the square root of 9 plus 4 is equal to 7. And guess what? 3 plus 4 is equal to 7, and 7 equals 7. Boom. 7 works. So now let's plug in 3. So when we do that, 3 times 2 is 6. 6 minus 5 is 1. So the square root of 1 plus 4 equals our x, and our x was 3. So now we're thinking, but if we remember, what happens when we take the square root of anything? It's plus or minus, right? It's the plus or minus. So plus or minus 1 plus 4 equals negative 3, or equals 3. Do one of these answers work? Yes, they do. Negative 1 plus 4 equals 3. And we got it. Alright. So, here we go. We have one left, and that is going to do it for the notes for this week. So, we have the cube root of x squared plus 4 minus 2 equals 0. So this one's going to start very similar to the last one. What we're going to do is we want to move this number over to the other side. When we do that, we're going to get the cube root of x squared plus 4 is equal to 2. And then we have the cube root. So we need to do the inverse of the cube root in order to get rid of it. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to cube both sides. When we do that, we're going to get x squared plus 4 is equal to 8. And then from here, we're going to subtract 4 to both sides. We're going to get x squared equals 4. Then, as our last step, we need to take the square root of both sides. We're going to get x equals plus or minus 2. And the final thing that we need to do here is we need to check our work. So, here we go. Let's grab a new color, and let's do it. So, we have 2 squared, so it's 4. So, the cube root of 4 plus 4 minus 2 equals 0. The cube root of 8 minus 2 equals 0. We know that the cube root of 8 is 2, and we're going to get 2 minus 2 is 0. It's going to check out. And then we need to check negative 2 as well. We're going to find that it's going to be exactly the same, because what is negative 2 squared? Negative 2 squared is 4, so it's going to start off the exact same way as the last one. We're going to get the square or the cube root of 4 plus 4 minus 2 equals 0. And we're going to get the cube root of 8 minus 2 equals 0. We're going to get 2 minus 2 equals 0. And then finally, 0 equals 0. So we know we are correct. So that is going to do it for this week's notes. If you have any questions at all about any of the work that you're doing, please reach out or drop in to one of the office hours section. I will see you all next week. Bye.